Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Mysticall. Today I'm bringing you the buffs that were announced to Mistweaver, and then I'll give you my point of view for rating Mythic Plus PvP, how I think they'll fit in, and just my overall thoughts on them. With that said, let's jump right into it. So we'll start with the changes. Here are the Mistweaver changes. They basically buffed most of our damaging spells by a small amount. We got Tiger Palm, Black Oak Kick, and Rising Sun Kick. All their damage increased by 10%, which is really nice. This will be good when you have Chi-Ji up, but it's only 10%. I really feel like we've never ever gotten a buff without getting nerfed, so I really think Ancient Teachings for PvE will probably get nerfed. I just think it's getting nerfed. Right now, it's 250% of the damage you do converts to healing. They're probably gonna nerf that. Probably like 220 or 230. I don't think we've never gotten a buff and never got nerfed. Spinning Crane Kick damage increased by 20%. Pretty nice for bigger pulls when you have Chi-Ji up, so not bad. Hopefully don't get nerfed too hard. Next up, we have Enveloping Mist with the mana cost reduced from 6% to 5.6% base mana. We'll never run out of mana again with this change. Not once, not one time. This is I don't know. I guess they obviously see that Enveloping Mist costs a lot of mana, but a little bit at a time, I guess. And then here's the biggest change: is Revival now procs your Gust of Mist on each target healed. So that's your mastery, which is actually really insane for raiding and PvP too, but mostly for raiding, because you're using Essence Font, which procs double Gust of Mists. You Revival. Oh, it's actually a ton of healing. This is a lot of healing. And then you know what? There's like, you know what? Mistweavers can't have, they can't, it's a 3-minute cooldown, so it can't be too good because it's a Mistweaver. So they reduced the healing by 10%. So really great, really perfect job right there. They did nerf Revival healing by 10%. I think overall it is a net gain healing, because again, Gust of Mist, and then on top of that, if you have Resplendent Mist, which, you know, gives you a chance, your mastery a chance to proc again. It's just really good. And if you're Necrolord, you have Bone Dust Brew, and it's a good amount of healing. It's quite a bit of healing, so pretty good change here. But yeah, you know, we can't just have one good thing. And then the next up, we have the Legendaries. So the Legendaries are fairly mediocre. The Necrolord one is your abilities have a low chance to cast Bone Dust Brew at your target's location. Just kind of lazy, I guess. Bone Dust Brew has a 1-minute cooldown, and it lasts 10 seconds. I don't know. I don't think this Legendary is that good. I would have made a Legendary based around Fleshcraft rather than Bone Dust Brew. Maybe when your shield expires, it puts Bone Dust Brew on people. That way it's not RNG. Because honestly, this Legendary is just it's nothing compared to the Legendaries that you have now. So I don't think it's that good. Call to Arms. This is probably the best one, and I'm probably leaning more towards Kyrian now for PvP and PvE next patch. And that's because when you use Weapons of Order, you get Yulon for 12 seconds. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a good thing, but it actually is. So Weapons of Order gives you a ton of mastery and resets your Essence Font. So if you, in PvP, if you Weapons of Order and then Mana Tea, you have a ton of mastery from Weapons of Order, and then you have Yulon healing with Mana Tea up, you can just crank healing. So that's just amazing. Seriously, that's really good. So yeah, I think Kyrian is gonna be the best for Mistweaver next patch. Phaline Harmony, your abilities have a chance to reset Phaline Stomp is doubled. It's great. Enemies and allies hit by Phaline Stomp are affected by Phay exposure, increasing your damage and healing done against them by 8% for 10 seconds. Probably really good for Mythic Plus. Not really good, probably decent for Mythic Plus. For PvP, this is just terrible. It's just not a good Legendary. Phaline Stomp, again, is not a good ability to press. It costs 2,000 mana for pretty much nothing, so not the greatest. And then I'm like on the fence about Venthyr, so on the fence about Sinister Teaching. So when you use Fallen Order, you summon an extra little guy, and then when you have it up, when you have your little fellas up, any ability that critically strikes reduces the cooldown of Fallen Order by 3 seconds. Not that good for PvE, unfortunately. I think it's okay for PvE because it's a 3-minute cooldown. So technically, every single Prideful, but obviously next season we're probably not going to Prideful. So It might not even be good. Depends on what the seasonal affix is. And then in PvP, normally you're using Fallen Order before crowd control. So like right before Polymorph, you know, right before Blind, you know, right before Cyclone on you. So you're not really going to get a lot of value out of the reduced cooldown on Fallen Order because you're mostly not healing during it. So I think by far the best legendary is Call to Arms. Kieran really helps with our healing output, and I'm definitely leaning towards Kieran for next patch. So for rating, I feel like overall these changes are okay. I am interested to see if they do nerf Ancient Teachings for rating in the upcoming weeks. The revival change is actually pretty solid, but I don't know if they played the same game as us, but revival, we're not going to get taken to raids. Why take a Mistweaver when you can have a Disc Priest with Dome, a Holy Pally with Devotion Aura, and then the empowerment of it, a Resto Shaman with Spirit Link Totem. What Mistweavers need for raiding is a damage reduction. Mistweavers need in general is a damage reduction, but we need some kind of damage reduction. Maybe revival puts like 10% damage reduction on people. Something, because raw healing just isn't it anymore. It's just not we're not gonna get invited to a raid. If people are trying to choose between like all the healers, they'll probably go like 2 Holy Pallies, 1 Disc Priest, 1 Holy Priest, or 1 Resto Shaman thrown in there instead of like maybe like the Holy Priest. Like it's just not it. And then these 10% increases to our damage, probably really good with Ancient Teachings if it doesn't get nerfed. But like, what's 10% of a 2000 crit on Rising Sun Kick? It's 200. Our Rising Sun Kick's gonna hit for 2200 now. I mean, it's a good start, but I really hope these aren't the only changes, especially for rating. And same for Mythic Plus. I actually kind of like these changes because in Mythic Plus, it's mostly based around Chi-Ji. It's not really Ancient Teaching, so you're gonna get a lot of value out of Chi-Ji too, which is nice. But man, I don't use Revival. I mean, I don't use Revival too much in Mythic Plus, so this change doesn't matter too much because usually if I Revival, you know, it's like, you know, to stabilize, and all I need is that quick heal to keep people alive. So these changes are okay. The legendaries for rating are, I think obviously Kieran's gonna be the way to go for rating 100%. Kieran's gonna be the way to go for Mythic Plus 100%. So, you know, definitely lean towards Kieran. Finally, for PvP, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. None of these changes impact us at all. They're not good in any way, shape, or form for PvP. Again, Revival, it has a 1.5 minute cooldown next patch when you take the Peaceweaver PvP talent, which will be good. So for RBGs, I think this is gonna be really insane. It's gonna be really nice for arena and 2s, you know, 2s and 3s. Not really too beneficial. I mostly just use Revival to dispel people, or to, you know, if wings. Again, it's just it doesn't line up well with many burst cooldowns. Truly, what we need for arena, and preferably for just Mistweaver in general, is add a damage reduction to Life Cocoon or to Revival. Preferably Life Cocoon, honestly. Life Cocoon's a 2-minute cooldown in PvE, a 1.5 minutes in PvP, and even on my fully geared monk, people go right through it. If I trade a 2-minute Life Cocoon for a 2-minute like Rep Pally Wings, the Wings wins every time. And then for PvP, again, Kieran is probably Kieran or Necrolord for PvP. So if you like being safe with the shields, Necrolord will still be pretty good. Fleshcraft is only going to get better because we're going to get more health, and same with the shield. If you want more healing, I think Call to Arms is going to be really good. I don't think next patch Mistweavers are going to have a problem with survivability because we can port in stuns. So our biggest weakness then will be healing output for our teammates, which is why for PvP I would probably also go Kieran. So I think next patch we're going Kieran. Every monk except me are Kieran's. This legendary makes me even more. Yep. Yeah, this is exactly it right here, Strung. Yeah, I feel I'm literally Necrolord. I feel you. It's a rough one. Anyway, yes, that is pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any comments, please comment. And that's pretty much it. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.